to honor America and those who protect our freedom and national liberty. Please sing along to fight our national anthem. Good evening and welcome to the annual parade for tonight's event between the Yellow Jackets from Baldwin, Wallace University and your University Knights. Let's meet the Yellow Jackets. Number 3, Tyler Harrington. Number 5, Jack Sullenberg. 7, Aiden Kim. 9, David Thompson. 18, Michael Wallace. 19, Lulu Chicago. 22, Bobby Nader. And 23, Justin Golden. Starting tonight for Baldwin, Wallace, Bear, myself, Aaron Colbeck, number 2, David Kemperson. A freshman from East New York, number 4, Tyler Jones. A freshman from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 8, Ethan Gunter. Bringing the 12 tonight, a senior from Baldwin, Ohio, Colby Whiteside. A senior from Towson, Maryland, number 13, Thomas Knights. A junior from Westerville, Ohio, number 21, Daniel Maycomb. And a junior from Whitfield, Ohio, number 24, Jacob Escobar. The head coach for Baldwin, Wallace, Tyler. And now the team Knights, number 3, Gavin Barber. 4, Owen Wise. 6, Adam Backer. Number 7, Landon Dykeman. 10, Jacob Kissinger. 11, Carter Nichols. 14, Trevor Monk. 16, Bryce Brookhiser. 18, Ryan Birch. Number 20, Cam Dogger. Starting tonight for the Knights, a sophomore from Northville. Number 1, Ronald Young. Also the barrel, a freshman from Wall. Number 5, Brittany T. A graduate student from Grand Rapids. Number 9, Gabe Baldwin. A sophomore from Iowa, Wisconsin. Number 13, Ezekiel Taylor. A sophomore from Naperville, Illinois, number 17, Brady Velasquez. A junior from Medellin, Colombia, number 19, Daniel Rubin. And a junior from Ireland, 21, Nick Colby. Head coach of the Knights, Aaron Sager.
And welcome back to the Calvin broadcast of the Calvin Knights men's volleyball versus Baldwin Wallace. Today we have an exciting game in the conference. You can see the conference record of Baldwin Wallace is they're in tied for third place with 2 wins and 1 loss, and Calvin is the only team in the league with 0 losses, and they have 4 wins. This is a big power matchup. It should be a very exciting game. Calvin just came off a win a couple nights ago, a good 3-0 win after coming back from the break, and it was a good way to get up their momentum and start off this second half of their season well. quick look at Baldwin Wallace. The Yellow Jackets enter Friday's match with a 14-8 record and 2-1 in the MVCL play. Baldwin Wallace is currently receiving votes in the latest AVCA Top 20 poll and is coming off a 1-3 trip at the California Invitational, where it defended 14th ranked Wentworth but dropped 2 matches to ranked opponents. Ethan Gunroom leads NCAA D3 in assists per set this season. And let's begin the game with a serve from Jalen. Good serve there from Jalen. Well defended there by Baldwin Wallace though. And it was a good hit, well hit, but that goes out of bounds from Jacob Esteves. Good start there for Calvin. And here's Jalen serving again. This time it goes out, and that's a well-deserved point for Baldwin Wallace after their attack last point. And here we go. Serving now is number 4, Tyler Shunk. Tyler Shunk with a brilliant serve. Bent it down straight into the court. Not much that the Calvin defense could do about that. A good hand there though from Brantley Tide, but too much on the spin. Another good serve. This time it goes into the net and it's all tied up. 2-2. And now one of the best players on the court right now serving is Daniel Rua. He was named Offensive Player of the Week a couple weeks ago. And we'll see if he can keep it up today. Nice serve there. But the attack was too powerful. Some blockers up for Calvin. A brilliant attack. That was number 8, Ethan Gundrum. Now serving is number 12, Colby Whiteside. Well dug by Barber. Jalen with the nice attack there. And it's brilliantly placed by number 9, Gabe Laughlin, who's coming back for his first game since the break. He wasn't there last game, not sure why, but that's a brilliant way to come back after the long time without playing. That's a serve from Nick Volche. Jalen well defended. And a nice spike there by number 17, Gadauskas. Well placed. The block was there for Baldwin Wallace, but in the end the strike was too powerful and the ball went right out of bounds. Volche again for the serve. Little mistake there by Baldwin Wallace, and Calvin takes advantage. They set up 2 blockers, brilliantly blocked there by Justice Barbo on the head of it. Very well done by Calvin, just getting into the right position, reading the ball really well. Volche again with the serve. There, a nice hit from Esteves. And that Daniel Latham elevates and gets a soft touch into the bottom left corner for Baldwin Wallace. Serving now is Esteves. Esteves with a nice serve. Well done by the libero from Calvin. Tide. And Barber there with a nice attack. And Laughlin with the power shot. Wow, well done by Laughlin. His second point back. Powers it right into the blocker. And well read there by the Baldwin Wallace defense. They saw it going out and they all left it. Brilliant there. They're gonna need some of those points. those smart points, reading the game well, and just getting in the right positions, calling it out if it's out. Great communication there. And Jalen with a nice set to Barber. And there's Esteves again. Esteves, one of the best players on the court today. Brilliantly set up. And a nice serve there. Jalen with the set to Gudauskas. And they're set up brilliantly by Ethan Gundrum. And again, Esteves on this right side of the court. Ruthless from Esteves on this right side of the court. And Baldwin Wallace takes their second lead of the game. The score is 6-7. And there a little bit too much power from Daniel Latham, but he set up a good string of serves there to give Baldwin Wallace a lead. But Calvin ties it right back up. And serving is Brady Gudauskas. Nice serve from Brady. But Calvin ends up getting the touch, but it's well saved there by Abercrombie. This hustle at the net. But in the end, Daniel Latham elevates from in the back court. But the hit is just a little too long. Serving again is Gudauskas. And that's well saved, brilliant by Shunk. And the Knights get a touch on it, but ends up going well wide. Not much that the Knights could do about that. Another great hit there from Baldwin Wallace. And now serving is number 13, Josh Steins. Well defended there by Calvin, and Rua with a crazy slam right into the blockers of Baldwin Wallace. He gets a nice angle on it, and that's a great pass from Jalen, finding him in the opposite side, or on the left side. Well placed. Justice Barbo for the serve. A little too much power on that one. Such an even game this is going to be, and it already has been. Both of these teams have done pretty well in the competition. Calvin doing better, but and that's a good hit there. And that's a spike. A hard spike from number 21, Nick Bolchi. And now Jalen serving. Good touch from Abercrombie. And a brilliant hit there from Shunk, but well defended by Calvin. And there, again, a good spike from the backcourt. Baldwin Wallace really using their backcourt well. They like to go for those long spikes. And now Tyler Shunk. Well read by Tide. And a brilliant save there by Abercrombie. Really athletic. And a little mishit there by Daniel Latham, but it was well read by the Calvin defense to put it right back down. The blockers got a touch on it and did brilliantly there. Now serving again is Daniel Rua. And a nice serve, down spin. And a brilliant hit there from Colby Whiteside, but saved. And Jalen gets the touch. That's a super block by Esteves. And number 12, Kobe Whiteside. They combine and set up the wall. Left no room for the hit from Gadauskas. Now Whiteside serving. And Jalen with the athletic set. Gadauskas pushes it into the top left corner. Well placed block. Really well placed hit there. Gadauskas starting to get hot. And now serving is Bolchi. The set there. The set from Gundrum was good, but just a little mistake there from Baldwin Wallace. Tried to keep it in. And Bolchi with the serve again. Gundrum with a nice set there for Esteves. And Esteves again so lethal on this right side. He gets to it every time. And Gundrum has been looking for him. And Gadauskas again. It's been all on this one side of the court. Gadauskas versus Esteves, both putting in good work. Gadauskas with a cross slam. Very well done. And now Baldwin for the serve. Good serve there from Baldwin. And the set. What a slam there from number 21, Daniel Latham. So much power on it. Barber did get a hand to it, but the power was just too great. Sent it here towards us, out of bounds. And Latham now serving. And Latham again, just a little too far on the serve. The Calvin bench letting him know about it. Gadauskas with the serve into the net. Both teams serving mistakes, giving the ball back to one another. But Calvin still has the lead, 15-14. And this very even first set. And here's the serve. Served by Josh Steinitz. Well done. Baldwin Wallace bring the game back to even. And Steinitz at the serve again. Well read. And Jalen with a brilliant set, but Rua just hitting it a little bit outside of the line. He went for down the line, but the blocker was placed perfectly. Sends the ball right out. And now Steinitz again for the serve. And well read by Barber. And Rua trying to get that cheeky slam, but Tide gets it. And Tide with some very, very athletic plays. Very well done there by Tide, but just too much. The pressure from Baldwin Wallace. And that forces the timeout from Calvin. Wallace on a streak right now, finding their positions and really clicking together. Baldwin Wallace is coached by Kyle Mars in his 6th season as the head coach of the Yellow Jackets men's volleyball program. And in 2023, Mars led the program to a 26-8 record and its first ever MCVL championship. Prior to taking over at Baldwin Wallace, Mars started the men's volleyball program at Hiram College in 2018 and won 13 matches in his 2 seasons at that program. So a well-decorated coach leading the team and leading his team right now through the timeout. And Calvin will hope to get back on their feet in this one and not let Baldwin Wallace run away with it early in this first set. This is a big game for both teams because it is in the tournament. And we will get back to it with number 13, Josh Steinitz, at the serving line for the Yellow Jackets. And good serve, well run. And Barble plays it over, and it's a net touch from the Yellow Jackets. Unlucky from them. They would have gotten a pretty easy point there. Just a little lapse in concentration. And that's a much needed and deserved point from Calvin, but they give it right back. Barble with the serve into the net. And now the setter, Ethan Gundrum, to the service line for the Yellow Jackets. And a brilliant serve there, an ace from Gundrum. An ace, so much power on it. Very well placed as well. And now Baldwin Wallace has a 3-point lead, 16-19. Only 6 points left to go to win the first set of this game. And that's well done by Rua to get there. And both teams at the line, but it's a touch again from Baldwin Wallace. The last 2 Calvin points have been net touches from Baldwin Wallace. Unlucky from them, but they still do have the lead, 17-19. And now Jalen at the line. Good set from Gundrum to Esteves. But it's well defended by Calvin, but it goes right back down from Esteves. Well done by him. Right place, right time. And Esteves gets the job done. He can play on both sides. And he's one of the biggest tools on this team for the Yellow Jackets. And Jalen with a nice set to Loughlin. And a point for the Knights. The slam from Daniel Latham just a little bit out of the line. And that gives some breathing room for the Knights. And good receive there from Latham. And Loughlin hands out on the floor. Mistake there, free ball. And the Calvin coach calling that a lift from the Yellow Jackets, but the point does go to the Yellow Jackets either way because the Knights hit the ball into the antenna. Dispute here between the Calvin coach and the refs, but we'll start it back with number 12, Colby Whiteside, serving for the Yellow Jackets. Yellow Jackets hoping to extend their 3-point lead. And that's well saved by the Knights, and they get the point from nothing. 3 important touches from the Knights in a row, and they get the point from nothing. And that sparks back some hope. It's 19 Calvin to 21 Baldwin Wallace. And that serve just too far. And Calvin again giving the ball right back to the Yellow Jackets. after getting a much-needed point. They can't do this forever. It's down by 3. Baldwin Wallace only needs 3 more points to win the first set of the game. And here's Esteves serving. Really good serve from him. And Jalen with the far side set. And a brilliant hit right off the hands, and Calvin gets a point to come within 2 of the Yellow Jackets. And there are 2 subs for the Knights. Number 4, Owen Wise coming in, and number 16, Bryce Brookhuizen coming in. Owen Wise known for being a really good server, really consistent. The Knights are really gonna need this. And it's well saved by Barber. Spreads out on the floor and somehow gets it. And again by Barber and Brookhuizen. Oh, and the Knights just misjudged it. Miscommunication there. And that gives the Yellow Jackets the 3-point lead. There's gonna be a big comeback from the Knights here. Yellow Jackets only needing 2 more points. And they get the first one there from an ace. The Knights thought it was going out, but it just bent down the bottom spin on the ball, curved it down inside the line. And this is for the game. Latham at the line. And Barbo with a super block. Sends it down on the other side. Gets it right inside the line. Gdauskas with a brilliant serve. And the Knights have gotten 2 back. They only need 3 more, and that sends a timeout for the Yellow Jackets. The Knights putting something special together here. The Knights only need 2 more points to even the game up. But 1 mistake, and the Yellow Jackets will take the first set of the game. The Knights enter today with a 16-2 record on the season, and they are on a 12-match winning streak following a 3-0 win over Calumet College of St. Joseph's back on Tuesday. They are 4-0 in MCVL play, the only team to have that record, and with wins over Olivet, Adrian, Wittenberg, and Mount St. Joseph's University. The junior middle blocker, Nick Bolche, is a 2-time MVCL Defensive Player of the Week and currently ranks 3rd in NCAA with an average of 1.17 blocks per set. Sophomore Ezekiel Jalen ranks 10th in NCAA Division III with an average of almost 10 assists per game. And here we'll get back to the exciting action with Gdauskas serving. And he serves it out for the Yellow Jackets to take the first set of the game. Unlucky there from the Knights, but really well done by the Yellow Jackets. For the Knights to come back into this game, they're gonna need to be connecting on a few more of these serves and really getting into the places to get those blocks that they did more in that last part of the set. The Knights had some lapses of judgment throughout the game, but it's definitely not out of reach for them. Honestly, it's anybody's game. Quick look at the stats from that first quarter. we have, for the most kills, was Esteves Jacob for the Yellow Jackets, and for the Knights, it was Loglin and Brady Gadauskas. For the Knights as a whole team, their percentage of attacks the percentage of attacks that hit were 129, 12%. And for the Yellow Jackets, they had a 0%. They had 8 kills, but 8 errors, 73%. And on the serves, you can see Calvin, they had 7 serve errors to the Yellow Jackets 3, and that really changes the whole game. Calvin have had more blocks, and we saw that at the end from blocks from Barble and blocks from other players near that area. Well done by them, but it wasn't enough to keep the Knights into that first set, and really well deserved there from the Yellow Jackets to take that first set. It's good atmosphere out here today. Friday night here on the Calvin University campus in Van Noord Arena. A good amount of students here watching this MVCO Giants face off against each other. And the Knights will need these fans to clutch up for them and help them out here. And subbing in for the first time this game, Ronald Young, the libero. Excuse me, he wasn't subbing in. Just giving Tite a moment of just letting him know he got this, helping his libero brother out. And here Baldwin Wallace will begin with the ball in the hands of number 8, Ethan Gundrum. And Ethan's Gundrum serve goes into the net, and Calvin starts off this set with the first point of the game. And the serve just a little bit over there from Jalen. And both points so far in the set coming from serve mistakes. And now the ball in the hands of number 4, Tyler Shunk. Tyler Shunk with a really good serve there, but well read by Rua. And the Knights will give the ball the Knights do not get the point. I'm not sure what happened there, but the point goes to the Yellow Jackets with Shunk at the line again. And Shunk with a brilliant serve there, just off the top of the net, falls right back down. Not much that the Calvin defense could do about that, unlucky there. But that's really well done by Shunk. And Rua with a good receive. And Rua with the slam too. The Knights really are gonna need Rua to come out here and perform like he always does. One of the best players on the court. And Daniel Rua at the line. Just going for that inside corner, ends up hitting the net. Unlucky there. And the Knights still haven't gotten a serve on the other side of the court in this set. And once again, the ball is turned over from the serve. That time It was number 12, Kobe Whiteside. And now serving defensive, really good defensive player here, Nick Baldwin. And he gets finally the first serve over for them, but it's a hammer down from Josh Steinitz. Really good play there overall by the Yellow Jackets. A good set and the intuition to slam it right down into the ground. Really well done there by the Yellow Jackets. And Barbell with a nice hit. But that is a mishit there from the Yellow Jackets. Give the Knights another point. Now the Knights only down by 1. With Lachlan serving. And really well done by Lachlan. That serve right there, and a brilliant touch. That was number 13, Josh Steinitz again. Right over the blockers as they're falling down. Couldn't do anything about it. That's really good volleyball IQ right there from Steinitz. Really coming out here in the set. There's the dig from Barber. Another great dig from Barber. And Gadauskas just shoves it over. And that hit from number 4, Shunk. Brilliant across the net. Across everybody into the open area. Really well done. Again by the Yellow Jackets. Such a good team. They are. Here's number 21. Latham with the serve that goes out. And Daniel Brewer coming back in. Gadauskas serve just mishit it, got under the ball, and the ball goes far out. Both teams exchanging serves for each other. That ball is well read by the blockers. That was Shunk and Whiteside both combining for a brilliant ball. The Knights hoping not to fall too much early on in this set, and they get one there to bring the lead down to 3 for the Yellow Jackets. And here's Barbell with the serve. And Barbell with a well-placed serve. And with a good dig there. And Gundrum with the set. But the block there from Rua, just too much. And the Knights combine for another brilliant point. Barbell. And Barbell with the power serve. Really well done by Barbell. Getting the Knights back in this game. Cut the lead down to 1. Barbell again with the serve, good serve. And unlucky there from the Knights. Good hit though by number 4, Shunk. And that stops the streak that Calvin was on. Now Baldwin Wallace serving is Gundrum, excuse me. And that serve just goes out for them. And the Knights cut the lead back down to 1 and have the chance to tie the game right here with the server Ezekiel Jalen at the line. Well dug there by Latham, and the hit gets across. And Loughlin with a good cheeky hit right there into the wall and gets it out on the other side of the line. Very well done there by Loughlin. This Calvin team has so many attacking options. And Tita there. Both liberos doing brilliantly for their teams. There's Latham to Gunjum to Shunk, and the ball goes out, and Calvin gets a point and takes their first lead of the set. Everything's clicking now for Calvin, and here's Jalen again for the serve. And Jalen with a good serve. But the hit was too powerful from the right side. Unlucky there for the Knights. Didn't get the blockers there in time. And they give up their lead. But now it's a tie game and Shunk at the line. Shunk with a good serve, but it's well read by Tita. And gives it to Jalen, who Rua hits the power slam and tells him about it too. Rua with a brilliant hit in between the walkers right into the chest of a Yellow Jacket player. And Rua with a good serve as well. And Gunjum with a very quick hit, but somehow it's saved by Jalen. And again, oh, the Knights almost got to that one, but their defense was immaculate on that play. Very well done by the Knights. And here Barber coming in for Daniel Rua. Barber is so good in that backcourt area, getting those balls. Here's Kobe Whiteside. Well served by him, but a miscommunication there from the libero Tita and Barber, both in the same position. Unlucky there for the Knights. Something that they're gonna have to clean up if they wanna continue in this game. Good serve there from Whiteside. And Loughlin with a cheeky hit over the blockers, and he gets the block right inside. Brilliant there, the whole play, Loughlin, so well. And that gives the Knights the comeback tie. And now it's Bocha at the line. And good serve there for Bocha. And Gunjum with the athletic set, and Barber somehow gets it. What a play this whole play has been. And Barber with the instincts. And Barber again trips his own player, unlucky there. But the athletic plays from Calvin as a whole team to keep the ball in the air and keep their chances going. Just unlucky there, the Yellow Jackets came up on top, but both teams playing brilliantly right now. Here's number 24, Esteves. And Barber again with a good hit there from Barber, trying to place it early on. And that's a brilliant play from the Knights. Loughlin plays it to Jalen, who plays it right into the path of Barber's hand, and it goes straight down. These Knights really clicking right now. And here Loughlin for the serve. And Loughlin with a really good serve, but it's well defended by the libero, Abercrombie. And the set from Gundrum, unlucky from Barber. Just comes off his hand, but it was a good slam. Very, very good slam there from Steinitz. And now serving is number 21, Daniel Latham. And a brilliant save by Gadauskas. And Laughlin gives it right back over. And that hit so powerful from Shunk. He elevates right in front of the net. No defenders in the area. Very well placed. Here's Latham again. Latham with another powerful serve. It's well saved by Barber. And Laughlin gives it right back. And Latham with the hit over the wall. Unlucky there. Laughlin with the spread out play on the floor. Just couldn't get to it. And that's smart from the Yellow Jackets. And they bring the lead to 3 points and force the timeout from the Knights. What a set this has been. 17 for Baldwin Wallace and 14 for Calvin. The Knights doing everything right, but the Yellow Jackets just playing out of their minds right now. Getting every chance that they have. And clicking together as a team brilliantly. Winning this set for the Yellow Jackets would be almost confirming the win. Then they have 3 sets to get 1 more. And the Knights definitely can still win from that position, but it would be incredibly hard. But the Knights still believe that they can come back in this set. And everybody in this crowd believes they can. They're gonna need something special here. Here's Latham. Latham's serve goes well wide. And that gives the Knights their first point after the timeout with Gadauskas at the line. Daniel Rua notably comes back into the game for Barber. Gadauskas with a brilliant serve there, but well read by Abercrombie. And unlucky from the Knights. They get the block, but just unlucky. No one else was there to clean up the block. And the Yellow Jackets extend the lead to 3. Stein is serving now. And well read by Tide. Gives it to a flying Gadauskas. And Shunk. It's off the head of Barbo, who goes across the court and gets unlucky. And went through everybody, no touch. But good, powerful hit there from Barbo. And the Knights now down by 4. They're gonna need something to happen here fast. Gadauskas with a good save right there. Rua sends it over. And the block from Rua and Barbo, unlucky. It goes out. And that's now the Knights down by 5. They need 10 points to win the set. The Yellow Jackets only need 5. These are some brilliant serves by Steinis, though. It really elevates, gets the downspin on the ball. And Tita gives it to Rua. But that block's so powerful. Nothing Rua could do about it. Now Owen Wise and Brookhausen are coming in for Laughlin. For Laughlin and Jalen. Steinitz with the serve again. Well read by Rua. And Owen Wise with a good serve, but it gets unlucky and it hits Brookhuizen's leg. And the Knights now down by 7. The Yellow Jackets only needing 3 more to win the set. Another good serve, but Tide did well. Brookhuizen gets the hit off, and it's unlucky there from Gadauskas. He spans across the floor, couldn't get to it. And these Yellow Jackets just blocking every attack from the Knights. The Knights can't get through. They change the setters, they change the hitters, but these Yellow Jackets just come out on top. Well read by Rua there. And Barbo misjudged the thing, but ends up getting it. And there's a net touch on the play. There's a carry. And the Knights left stunned. Aaron Segrovs in disbelief at the call. But the Yellow Jackets only need 1 more point to finish off the game here. Can they get it here? Owen Wise with the set for Barbo. And there, Barbo gets a point back for the Knights and gives them hope. They're gonna need 9 points in a row here to come back. And Barbo's serve, a good one. But the Yellow Jackets come out on top with a good hit there from Colby Whiteside. And now Baldwin Wallace with 2 sets to Calvin 0. The Knights are gonna need something special here to come back from this deficit. But they have a 12-game winning streak on the line to protect. That's gonna give them a lot of hope and energy to come back from this one. Prior to Saturday's match against Mount Union, Calvin will be honoring senior Gabrin Loughlin, who we watch every game before his final home match at Van Noord Arena. A member of the first ever Calvin men's volleyball team in 2024, Loughlin is a 3-year starter with 481 kills, 51 service aces, and 259 digs. 152 blocks in his Calvin career. Thank you, Gabe, for your contributions to Calvin's men's volleyball. He is definitely a player that we're gonna miss in this next coming season. And here we have a look at the stats for this second period. The kills this time, Calvin a lot less efficient than they were last time, and the Yellow Jackets becoming more efficient. If we look at the blocks, the Yellow Jackets come on top with more blocks this time in the second set. And something the Yellow Jackets were doing that's not a stat on the sheet is ability to get that first touch on the ball and slow it down to give the players behind them a bigger chance to get that set. It doesn't count as a block, but it's definitely something that's been helping out the team a lot in these couple sets and made them so good and efficient. Calvin are going to need to be more efficient on their attacks and get around the blocks to come back on top in this game and win this set. The Knights playing pretty well overall, but the Yellow Jackets just found what they need to do and have been doing it brilliantly. And here we have the same players for both teams on the court, and unlucky there from Jalen to start off the game right into the net. And here's Shunk. Shunk with the serve into the net, and Calvin get the point right back, and it's tied up. Now Gadowskis. Gadowskis hit Bolche, unlucky there. The ball way below the net. Well defended by the Knights. And Rua gets a hit over. And that's a super block there from Buckheisen and Bolche, two great defensive players. Such a tall wall there, can't get through from the Yellow Jackets. And that's a much needed point there from Calvin, and Bolche now on the serve. And Latham gets the first touch, set from Abercrombie, and the ball goes out, well read by Gadowskis to leave the ball. And that's Calvin's first lead of this set. And there the hit from Bolche. And Gadowskis well saved. Unlucky there from the Knights, but it's a brilliant save there from Gadowskis after that super smash from the Yellow Jackets. And here's Esteves with the serve, and a really good serve. He elevated for that one, and Jalen gives it to Barble. And that one goes to the Knights. Latham just pressured to hit it wider because of the blocker. And the ball goes out. And now Brookhuizen. Brookhuizen. And that's a brilliant hit there from Rua. And Rua showing off his football skills, giving the ball back. But that's a much needed point there for the Knights. Brookhuizen again with a good serve. And Gundrum with an insane set to the back line. That's a really good hit for the Yellow Jackets. This Yellow Jacket team unrelentless on their offense, always gonna get more points. And Latham with a good serve, but Tita in the right place. And that's hit by Gadauskas. And Gundrum placed it in the perfect position. And that ball goes in. This Yellow Jacket team just connecting, firing on all cylinders. And that's a good hit. Good save. Jalen gives it to Barble. And unlucky there, he just went the wrong direction. And Latham again for the serve. Latham with a good serve, but Rua getting a hand to it. And Brookhuizen just hits it too far out. It's the Baldwin Wallace blockers that are really making it hard for the Knights to get any points. The Knights overthinking it maybe a little bit too much. But Rua gets the hit. Brilliant by Rua. Through two blockers. And there Rua with a really good serve as well. And Gundrum with the pass to Shunk. And that one goes out, and the Knights get 2 points in a row. And it's 7-7. Now serving is Daniel Rua. And that's a good dig there. And the hit from number 13, Josh Steinitz. Really good hit. Gives Baldwin Wallace the lead again. Now Steinitz for the serve. Brilliant by Tita to get that. And again, this Yellow Jacket wall. Too hard for the Knights to get around. Really unlucky there. Here's Jalen with a good set to Rua. And Rua gets the hit. And that's 8-9, Calvin. Rua firing on all cylinders for the Knights. It's a player that they're gonna need to play to more often. They're gonna need to use him while he's on fire. And here's Barber's serve. Barbell's serve. Very well done by Barbell. And Rua plays it over. And unlucky there. Wilshire gets a touch, but Estevez just too much power on the ball. And the Yellow Jackets extend their lead to 2. Here's Gundrum serving. And Jalen with a good set to Rua, but the ball just goes a little bit too wide for Rua. Good spin on it though. And good hit. Now it's Gundrum. Another good serve there from Gundrum. Jalen, the pass to Gadauskas, and a good slam. The Knights starting to find their rhythm again and get back into this game. There's Jalen. And that set from Gundrum and the finish from Whiteside. This Yellow Jacket team unrelentless. Getting points from every direction. And here's Shunk for the serve. And Tita, well read. Gives it to Jalen, gives it to, but that's a diving stop from Abercrombie. And there's a touch. There's no touch. There is a touch on the ball. And the Yellow Jackets get the point. Yellow Jackets get the point and the center lead to 4. The Knights are gonna have to come back into this game sooner than later. And that's one way to do it. The Knights bring it back to 3 after a missed serve from Shunk. And they're really gonna need to capitalize on this. Gdauskas with a good serve. And Gundrum just misread the play a little bit. And that's a brilliant, well-placed overshot. I believe that was from Jalen. And a diver in Abercrombie could not keep it in. And that brings the lead down to 2. And Gdauskas so well on the serve. And a really good hit there from Whiteside. He fakes the right side and he goes to the left side. And now Whiteside serving. Gives it to Gdauskas to Jalen, and Bolche gets a slam. And Steinis thought he had it, but he didn't. Bolche with a lot of power on that slam, and the Knights bring it down to 2 again. Unlucky there from Bolche. Served into the net. And now Esteves on the serve for the Yellow Jackets. Esteves with a nice serve. And it goes over. And it goes into the face of Barbo. Latham with a really powerful hit. He gets so much power on those swings. And that's going to force the timeout. These fired up Yellow Jackets doing everything right. Very well prepared for this game. The way that they bring every ball right back to the setter, number 8, Ethan Gundrum, the freshman from Cincinnati, and everyone working through him. This team has a bright future. Yeah, we can see Tyler Shunk, number 4, also a freshman. A lot of their main players. Colby Whiteside is a senior, and Josh Stites as well. Daniel Latham is a junior. Jacob Esteves, a junior. David Abercrombie, a sophomore. But a lot of the team, pretty young. And this program definitely has a bright future. And here's the Knights coming back onto the court, fired up, ready to give it their all for this 3rd set and possibly last set if it stays the way it is. Here's Baldwin Wallace's number 4, Jacob Esteves, for the serve at the line. And the serve goes into the net for the Knights ball. Cut the lead to 3, and it's Brookhuizen at the line. Good serve there from Brookhuizen. And the set, a really good set. Latham hits it off the blockers, but somehow Tita keeps it in. And that one goes right at Tita. An awkward height of the ball when it comes to him, hits his chest. And not much he could do about that, just so much power. on the slam there from the Yellow Jackets. And here's Latham serving. And Latham serve, well read by Rua, and Rua speedily goes up there for the slam. And such a tough hit. Such a well-read hit there from Tyler Shunk, the freshman. Brilliant from him. Getting to that ankle. And that serve goes well out for number 21, Daniel Latham. Now at the service line, Daniel Rua. And good dig there from Abercrombie. And the spike from Steinitz. Really well done there by Baldwin Wallace. Getting the ball back and extending their lead to 5. Again, the nice blockers not being able to get there in time. It's just the chemistry that this Yellow Jackets team has. Too much for the Knights right now. And the one-handed set from Guntram, and is smartly placed off of the blockers from Tyler Shunk. This Yellow Jackets team really have found their groove and are hitting every shot that they get. Now back at the line is Josh Steinitz. Well dug by Godowski. And the serve from Jalen setting up Rua as well. Well done. And Rua finishes it off again. That's one of Rua's, I believe that's his 5th kill of the game. And the serve from Barbo, a good one. And an unlucky hit there off the wall from number 12, Colby Whiteside. And the Knights get 2 points in a row. Cutting the lead to 4, and Barbo with another good serve. And Guntram with the jumping serve over to Tyler Shunk. And Jalen gets a hand on it, but gets unlucky there. Too much power on the hit. Here's the setter, Guntram, serving. Rua sets up Jalen for Bolchi going across and hits it perfectly down. Not much that the Yellow Jackets defenders could do about that. Too much power on it, and that's a great play there from the Knights to cut the lead back down to 4. But they're gonna need something special here quick. Jalen on the serve. Miss hit from Latham. And that's over from the fire from the Yellow Jackets. And Jalen with a set behind his back finds Brookhuizen. And it looks like there's an injury on the floor.
Yeah, just joining you here, Micah. It looks like Whiteside is down with an injury. We hope that he's all right. We typically do not speculate on these type of things, so make sure our camera operator is got a neutral camera look here, and training staff out to have a look at him. So we hope for the best. Mike, you've been pretty busy here in this this match. Baldwin Wallace playing pretty well.
Yeah.
Like you said just a moment ago, it sounds like their experience in the big matches is kind of coming to fruition right now. But you know, 3-point Kelvin deficit right now. They can get a little run going. You never know.
Yeah, definitely. Baldwin Wallace putting in a really good shift here tonight. They've been very dominant, especially on the defense. Just their blockers doing a really good job getting in the right position and getting touches on it.
Well, and a veteran team that has been near the top of this league now for a number of years. So, you know, they kind of have that the know-how to compete for the top spot. So
yeah, and here's Whiteside standing up and being ushered off the court.
Yeah, just wish him the very best.
Yes.
Never like to see anything like that in a
Yeah,
match.
and here's Michael Mihalov, the junior from North Huntington, Pennsylvania, who will be subbing on for him.
Well, not a lot of margin for error here for Calvin, so Ezekiel Jalen will have to serve some clean serves, and yet you have to keep the other team honest with being aggressive, so we'll see.
And Jalen with a good serve, sets up Gundrum. Gundrum sets up the slam from Esteves. That one just on the line, and it goes in for the Yellow Jackets. The Knights only have 3 more points to give up before the end of the game. And there's Shunk with a really good serve. And well-placed Brookhuizen with the hit. And Latham with the cheeky hit over the wall. Back to Brookhuizen.
Yeah.
Too much power on that one. Unlucky there from the Knights. They did well to keep the ball in play, but ended up giving up another point to the Yellow Jackets. There's Tito with a good dig.
There you go. Gudauskas.
Gudauskas with a really good slam coming across, and Jalen finding him in the right place. That's more that we want to see from the Knights. And the good serve from Gudauskas. And the Knights get another one. Daniel Rua on the outside.
Yeah, need a run here.
Wow. These Knights definitely coming alive in these last points of the third set.
Yeah, that's the thing about rally scoring, which is the way volleyball is now. You have a miss hit on a serve, and boom, the other team's got a point, and it's match point right now.
Yeah, unlucky there. Now giving up 2 points since that injury. 2 serves. Definitely something that the players don't want to see. And Rua gets a claw over the wall. That's well defended, and Latham for the shot, saved by Jalen.
That'll be it. Yeah, and Gudauskas went running into the stands, got bumped a little bit there on that last one. Hopefully he's going to be okay. I think it's going to be more of a bump and a bruise, but yeah, 25-20. You know, this Baldwin Wallace team showing that they're the real deal. Whiteside looks like they're looking at his ankle, so hopefully they can get that taped and iced and get him on the recovery road. For Kelvin, Mount Union tomorrow, 1 o'clock. I think you'll be here for that one, right, Micah? With Leo, we'll be broadcasting that with you.
Yes,
and
sir.
They've got to put this one in the rear view mirror. It's disappointing, but got to put it in the rear view mirror and find a way to get one tomorrow. And if you can get that, you know, it really puts you in a good spot still in the conference. I think Baldwin Wallace has a league loss. So, you know, if you get a weekend split, you're still in a pretty good position to get into the top 4, make the conference tournament. And I think that's the biggest goal, but you'd certainly like to make a run for the top spot, and it's not out of the question yet. But you got to come back and get the win tomorrow against Mount Union. It won't be easy because Purple Raiders of Mount Union are really tough. So we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. Your other analysis on this one tonight, Micah? I got here a little late. Softball went long, so what were your thoughts on the rest of this one?
I think it was really the Knights losing focus on attack. They got in the right places, but in the end, the blocking from Baldwin Wallace was just definitely too strong for them. And it was only really the kind of trick plays that the Knights were doing that was getting a good, clear shot. Otherwise, it was either the ball would go straight down on their side or Baldwin Wallace would get a good touch on it and slow the ball way down.
Yeah, no question. You know, I was following the score early. That, you know, Calvin kind of was slugging it out early with Baldwin Wallace, and then all of a sudden they kind of grabbed the lead late in that first set. And from that point on, it kind of seemed like they had the momentum and never really gave it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at stats here. Baldwin Wallace hitting 239 in the match. Calvin at -123, and kind of what you were saying, Micah, the defense for Baldwin Wallace really playing a key role in keeping Calvin off guard there. So
it's definitely.
I think Coach is going to come by for a post-game interview. Do you want me to handle that, or you handle it? How do you want to do it there, Micah?
Either way, I'm fine.
All right. Well, I'll have Coach come by, and I'll let you handle the post-game interview when he comes by. I would say just ask him for his thoughts on this one and his thoughts on tomorrow, trying to get back on the winning track. Just looking at the other stats here. 7 kills for Daniel Rua leading the Calvin attack, but 5 kills for Brady Godaskis, and really nobody up there beyond that. Baldwin Wallace led by Estevez, who had 11 kills and hit 292. So that's a pretty solid hitting percentage. Looking at blocking, 12 total blocks, or actually 12 block assists, so 6 total blocks, I think is how they compute it for Baldwin Wallace. And Calvin actually had 16, but like Baldwin Wallace was just pretty strong all the way around. So yeah, the Knights tasting defeat for the first time since back in, I think, late January, and now they come back and got a tough one tomorrow against Mount Union at 1 o'clock. So we will see. Just waiting for Coach Saygraves to swing on by here, doing his post-game shout. And yeah, busy weekend of Calvin sports action. Got ACHA D3 hockey playing in the national or in the pool play finals tonight against Dort, sister institution. That'll be at 9:15 Eastern. Got swimming and diving on right now. Calvin had 2 All-America swims on the men's side, and they are swimming in the 800 freestyle right now, trying to finish in the top 8 on the men's side. Charles Platt took 3rd. Jackson Merkel took 5th in the men's 100 backstroke. So that was good. Softball split, kind of a wild doubleheader. Just came from that with Anderson. Lost 3-2 in 8 innings. Went 1 extra inning, and then won 5-4 in 8 innings. Came back to win game 2 and come from behind fashion after Anderson kind of did what Calvin did at game 2. Anderson did to Calvin in game 1. So it's just one of those funny days. You know, and Micah, maybe you can speak to this a little bit. You come back after spring break and you have to get back in the swing of things.
Yeah.
Class-wise, practice, competition-wise. Probably takes a little bit of time to get back into things, doesn't it?
It definitely does. And there are some players who didn't even get that first game on Tuesday to get really into it.
Here comes Coach Saygrave. So I'm going to give my headphone to him.
Hello, Coach. Tough game today. What do you think? What are your thoughts on the game?
They scored 75 points, and we didn't. They beat us. They're better than us tonight, and tough way to lose. We prepared really well, and we're a little off. I mean, I wouldn't say we were big off, but they made us pay for the mistakes that we made, and that's what good teams do. That's what Baldwin Wallace do. They've been a top 20 team all year. They're a little bit out of it now because they lost a few matches last week, but they're still a really good volleyball team, and so are we. And we'll take this, we'll learn from it, and we'll move forward.
And what do you think needs to change for a good game in this next one tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, Mount Union is going to bring it again. I mean, these guys played Mount Union, went 5 with them. So we know how good they are. They're the defending conference champions, defending conference tournament champions, the team that represented our team at Nationals last year. We know how good. Coach Matt does a great job with that program, and we're looking forward to the challenge again. We got to be better. There's no, questioning things. We just got to be better tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good luck tomorrow.
All right.
And thank you for the interview.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that'll conclude tonight's broadcast. That was Coach Aaron Saygraves, and thanks, Micah, for broadcasting this one. We'll be back on air at 1 o'clock tomorrow.